Okay, check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, my mic seems okay. Everything else seems okay. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. My name is Ruka, and yeah, food review stream again, I guess. Well, we do have some things here that are probably a little bit unique compared to the usual what do you call this? Japan souvenir stuff, but also like I don't know, ramen. But ramen's like you can you can get like ramen anywhere in Japan, but the thing is, there's like certain places have different, what do you call that? They have different brands and stuff that you're not gonna find in Tokyo, except this one in particular. Actually, this Bear brand ramen. I actually found this particular one 9 years ago when I first visited Japan in Donkey of all places. I don't remember like how they got their hands on it, but after that first time, I tried going back to Donkey to find the same brand of ramen, and it seems like they don't carry it. At least they didn't carry it after 2015. If they carried it afterwards, I I haven't found it. I have not found it. So literally speaking, this is the first time in 9 years I will be trying this particular ramen. Apparently there are three different flavors. And they sold three different flavors at the place I got this in Hakodate. Um, and I got two of them. There is one more, and I do have a version of it, which but I feel like it's not that different from their normal brand. So, but yeah, so the plan for today is basically see if this ramen is any different or the same as what I've had many years ago, and also maybe try some other stuff. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have quite a few other things on here, so we are gonna check them out. And I'm not gonna eat every single pack of ramen I am going to show you because that is way too much. That's way too much of everything. Way too many calories, way too much salt, especially salt. At the very least, we're gonna try one. If I have the stomach and will for it, then we might try a second one. But at the very least, we will try one, and at least the one that I have put on screen slash the thumbnail. So let me move on over to the table and introduce what we are going to be trying out today, or at least for the most part, trying out today. All right. Also gonna move chat over here just in case. Will not be able to read what the heck you guys are saying, if only because it is tiny. I mean, this is the problem with having the chat out every single time. It is tiny. It is hard to read, and yep, that's just kind of how it is. Okay, I mean, I'm trying to think. Should I get the hot water? Should I bring the hot water over? I think I'll just grab the hot water when I need it. Oh, I did forget one thing. Hold up. Hold up. Forgot one thing. All right, here we go. So, we have ramen on here. Obviously ramen. At least this is the main thing I wanted to show you guys. This Bear brand. Oh, just I can't see anything. The mic is in the way. So we have a couple of Bear brand ramen, but that's not the only ramen that we have today. We also have 2 other Bear brand ramens. Apparently, this one is the same brand as this one, the Ripe and Dry. Apparently, it's called Ripe and Dry. Soy sauce flavor, Ripe and Dry miso flavor, and then we have here the Ripe and Dry salt flavor, which apparently comes in polar bear for some reason. Hokkaido is known for their brown bears. There's like, if you want to know where most of the bears are in Japan, it's in Hokkaido. There's also some black bears spread throughout the rest of Japan. But the brown bears, particularly ferocious, particularly dangerous if you run into them. But apparently it's become a thing that the Hokkaido's been known for. So here we have. Yeah, we're not eating all of this though. I mean, look, okay, I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit so I can fit more stuff on screen, but we have 2 Ezo brown bear ramens over here. We are going to try one of these today. We might try a different ramen, maybe not the same brand, if I have enough space and stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of salt, but we also have these 2. This one apparently is the same. It's from the same place as these other ones, the brown bear ones. The polar bear is the same same as in the other 2. And there's also this other one, Sapporo Maruyama Zoo. Maruyama Zoo is, I haven't been to the zoo itself. I have been to the park. Pretty good park. Pretty good hiking area around the park, which is surprising. It's a very big park right next to the zoo, apparently. Wait, is it? It's not. Okay. It's a very big park right next to the zoo, as well as a baseball stadium and the Hokkaido Shrine. So if you're ever in Sapporo, I highly recommend visiting the Maruyama area, the Maruyama Park area, and see what you can find there. But this one is apparently a collaboration with the zoo. It's also a salt flavor, and I don't know why Shirokuma is a polar bear. I do not know why polar bears are associated with salt. That is a very weird branding, but if you look at here at the back of the instructions, it is a very cute way to show how to cook it. This one's not as cute, but it does have the bear at the back. It's a lot of noodles, and we're not done yet. We still have. I actually have three more types of noodles, but apparently I only grabbed 2 other ones. We have crab ramen. I guess specifically hairy crab ramen. I have tried the hairy crab before. Pretty good, but at the same time, hard to eat from, because it is the crab is roughly around this size, and that is, you know, if you ever had blue crab, whatever problems you have eating blue crab, you're gonna have the same problems as eating this. So just go for the king crab. I know it's expensive. If you're ever in Japan, go for the king crab instead. Easier time eating. Very expensive, I get it, but easier time eating. But if you just want a crab, this is cheaper, though I don't think it's that much cheaper. We also have sea urchin ramen. Now, I am not sure how this is going to go, but I'm going to try this at some point, maybe on stream, maybe not on stream. I just wanted to show you guys what we have here as far as a variety of ramen that you can get in Hokkaido. Specifically Hokkaido. I don't know if you can actually find any of these in Tokyo, or, you know, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, in the donkeys, though I did find this in Donkey like 9 years ago and never again. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of where we're going as far as the ramen is concerned. We are gonna try one of these two, and since it is since we are trying Hokkaido stuff, let's go for the miso one. Let's go for the miso one, and if I have stomach for another one, I'll have you guys choose the second one. But that's not the only thing we're going to be trying today. We also have other things. This is the main thing, though. Def probably specifically regional for tourism reasons. Probably, yeah. But I'm still very much confused why it was in Donkey in Shibuya. Was it Shibuya? Shibuya, yeah. It was in the Mega Donkey in Shibuya 9 years ago, and then never again. I don't know why, but I mean, Japan does have a lot of regional specific stuff. But even with a regional specific stuff, if you're there at the right time and place, you might actually get them outside the region that they're supposed to be. Like B-side label. B-side labels are really, I don't know if they're popular, but they're a really trendy brand of stickers, and apparently they have like regional release stickers. And I found those regional release stickers in Tokyo, Shimokitazawa, and I'm like, I thought these were only supposed to be found in like other places, but here you are. You have these here too. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on what they feel like, but. Other stuff from Hokkaido that we're going to be trying today. We have this Hokkaido chocolate black and white. I'm guessing this is like made from Hokkaido milk or something. I don't know. Hokkaido's like the land of dairy and potatoes and corn apparently, so this is one of them. And now you can't see it on here, and I don't think you can really. Oh, you can kind of see in the packaging. You can kind of see in the packaging, but when I saw the display for this, it's basically like little milk jugs with something in the middle. I don't know if it's cream or other chocolate, and you can kind of see it over here, though it doesn't really show very well what it's supposed to be. I haven't tried this yet because I haven't opened this, but we're gonna try that. We're also going to try this weird corn, white chocolate corn thing, which I assume is going to be similar to like Rice Krispies. I have no idea what else it could be, but we got that. They like their roasted corn over there. We also have, now this one's probably a Hakodate special, because Hakodate is not only known for their crab, it's also known for their, what do you call this, squid. And they do a lot of stuffed squid things in Hakodate itself. And these are just a couple of the ones that I was able to bring with me. They did have like a stuffed squid, like a gigantic stuffed squid about this big, that was stuffed with some sort of seasoned rice. And I thought about bringing that over, and I think it would still have been good three weeks later. But it's like, that's kind of chunky. Is it gonna pass customs? I don't know. However, these did pass customs, so maybe next time I'm in the area, I try it again. I think these are both more or less the same thing. They're both like a variation of stuffed squid with cheese, though this one is like multiple squids with cheese stuffing. But meanwhile, this one is just one squid, possibly, cut into sections, and you can see all the stuffed cheese in the middle. Very curious about this. I've had the scallop and cheese before, and those are pretty darn good. I've also had just the dried scallop, and that was very good. I finished it all off. I finished that all off. So, oh, I guess there's one more here. This is weird. This is weird. Apparently we also have squid heads with all the tentacles in the world. I do not know why. Squid heads with all the tentacles in the world, and also stuffed with cheese. Food is food. Food is food, but good food is good food. if you know what I'm talking about. Good food is good food. And this one I didn't get from the trip. I actually got this online. I just kind of saw it for sale online, and it's like, oh hey, may as well try this. This is basically milk cubes, dried milk cubes. I do not know why, but they made it, so I'm gonna try it. It's also from Hokkaido, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's save it for this stream and try it out. But we are gonna go ahead and get the ramen cooking first. So let me set up for that, and I hope I do not melt any chocolate I have. Need to get some water for this, but also I've had this thing for a while, and it's like, it looks like it's been aged 100 years or something. It's got these stains and stuff to say it's probably been 100 years, and I don't know if I should replace it, but it still works. So I'm kind of like, you know what, let's keep it. Let's keep it until it goes bad somehow. Okay, there we go. It's connected. The heat is on. I'm gonna like turn that up as high as possible, but I need some water. Need some water. Oh wait, I need to measure this water. Just a sec. Measure water. Cup. Cup water. Cup water. Let's put that there. How's everyone doing today, by the way? It's the weekend. Hope you guys are doing well. We're just, I'm just basically trying to go through my snacks right now and see which ones we can try on stream and such. I think we need another cup of water. Doing your best? Good. Keep doing your best. It's all we can do, right? It's all we can do. Do your best, play with buns. Wait. What's going on? Ah, okay, the water's boiling to the side for whatever reason. I think that's too much water. Let's do that. Woo. Okay. Good news is we don't have to wait too long to boil, because that is already semi-hot water. Okay, so directions on the back. Apparently, boil in 500 ml water. I can kind of read some of it. 500 ml water, cook for about 4 minutes. I think it says 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, and then serve. Now, depending on the brand of ramen, sometimes you want to drain the noodles before serving, and like have a separate water to dilute the broth. But I guess in this case, since I don't want to like have water everywhere, we're gonna use the same one. I probably should be opening some right there. So what we have in this package is this sort of ramen. Not sure if you've seen this sort of ramen in your instant ramen before. This is not fried. This is more like a dried sort of ramen. And this is the sauce pack. That's it, just these two. Now you know it's good ramen when you have sauce pack instead of the powder. Nothing wrong with the powder, sometimes you have to. But sauce pack just, you know, it just gives that different bit of richness to that. And that is boiling. So basically what we got here on the side. We're just gonna open this up. We're gonna use all of it. Let me double check on how much salt is in here. If I am reading this right, the salt is down here. And I think that says almost 60 grams of salt. I don't know what that is percentage wise, but 60 grams of salt, which is a lot. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of salt. There we go. This is basically what you get. If you ever had like Chinese brand ramen before from the Asian grocery store, you might see sauce packets on those too. Those are the good ones. I know there's some Hong Kong made Nissin ramen that are really, really good, but this is basically what you get. It smells very miso-y. Very miso-y, not much else. I don't know if this is like pork or chicken, but it's probably pork with quite a bit of miso in there. So, while this is what do you call this? While that is boiling, or maybe we do it maybe we wait. I'm kind of thinking maybe we should put some toppings on the ramen. Maybe put the squid or something. Put squid. I made some eggs ahead of time because you can't really do these on stream. I basically just boiled them and had them soak in what do you call that? Some homemade dashi with soy sauce and sake, and that's basically what we have here. I haven't opened one of these up yet, so I don't know if they turned out okay. But we're gonna add that. We're gonna add that egg in there, and maybe one of these squids if after we try them and see if it's okay to add. I don't think we want to do that. We might just want to keep it simple. I don't have any chashu, so our meat is going to be the squid at best. Alright. Some of the noodles are a little bit broken up. Yep, they be broken up. Okay. That's okay. Let's see. Time it for, let's say 3 minutes, because by the time I see it again, it's probably not going to be, it's probably going to be too much, like 4 minutes. So yeah, let's say about 3 to 4 minutes from now, this should be done. Probably can't actually try anything in that time. But yeah, I think as far as ramen goes, I haven't really had much ramen this past trip. Maybe once, just once in this past trip, I had any form of noodles, and that was in Sapporo. And basically, it was just this. I don't think it was like a popular restaurant, but they were featured in the newspaper, so maybe that says something. It's basically a ramen shop run by this old lady, and I don't think they had seats for more than 6 or 8 people, and they were open for breakfast. So it's like, okay, let's get some miso ramen for breakfast, because that's a thing that you get in Hokkaido, because miso ramen is from Hokkaido. And add that. Let me see, do I have pictures of that? I think I have pictures of that. Let me check. I'm pretty sure I do, though. If I haven't shown it on stream before, here we go again. Let's see. Japan photos. We have... Oh yeah, it was this one. This is the one I had. This is the one I had. Miso ramen with some, I guess, cabbage in there, and pork, ground pork, no whole chashu, and it was a little bit on the salty side, but still pretty good overall, and definitely hit the spot for breakfast. They also had some pretty decent gyoza for that place. It was like the fattest gyozas I've ever had in Japan. usually they do thin gyozas, and this one was like meaty. It was plump, parboiled, and a little bit fried. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. I need some water. Holy crap! I need some water. I think I'll drink this hot water. Hot water, actually good. Actually okay. Let's see. It's been roughly 3 minutes. We'll just give it a little bit more. Have you guys had ramen with paste before? I know the powder one's the most common for most people, but have you guys had the pasty stuff before? I say that as if it's a bad thing, but it's just different. It's just different. I think what happens with the pasty stuff sometimes is that it tends to be a little bit too salty. The powder stuff does too, but the paste stuff also usually is too salty. But that's probably because you didn't add enough water to dilute it. That's usually the problem. Yeah, they're usually pretty good. They usually are pretty good because that's like the closest you can get to the actual broth. Basically, it's like the broth. What do you call this? The broth concentrated, and that's what this is. Concentrated broth. The powder stuff is also from broth, but it's like dried, and I think you lose something during the drying process. I don't really understand, but let's go ahead and mix. Oops, wrong way. Let's mix this up. Let's add a little bit of water here first. Dissolve that. You don't pour everything in at once. You gotta treat it like a paste first. Okay, now that is dissolved. Now let's go ahead and put the rest in. Slowly, 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 slowly. Okay, that noodles that are still stuck in the pot are a little hard to get rid of for some reason. They're a little hard to get out. There we go. And that's it. Pretty simple. Pretty simple, nothing to it. Basically, it's basically like your usual ramen stuff. Except now we gotta add the egg in here. And add the egg in there. And let's give this a try before we try to add anything else besides the egg. So a little try with the salt, not salt. A little try with the soup. That's what I was trying to say. Close up on there. I think close. Yeah. Oh yeah. We got pretty good shot at it. The broth looks like what you would probably expect. A little cloudy because of the miso. When I first tasted that, it tasted a little bit more like soy sauce than miso, but the miso is there. The miso is definitely there. As far as any other brothy flavor, I can't tell if it's pork. Probably is pork. That's pretty good though. That's pretty good. We have made Ichiran ramen on stream before. And if I had to say if this is better or not as good as the Ichiran ramen, I think the Ichiran ramen might be a little bit richer than this. It was really good. Really good. This one has it's got a more homey flavor to this. This one has a more homey flavor. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. A homey miso flavor where as soon as you get a little bit of the soup, it just kind of warms you right up. The Ichiran ramen really doesn't do that. It's more like rich, very much drowning in the fat and all that stuff. This one isn't very fatty at all, if at all. If at all. Let me see this. It's hard to. Okay, I cannot for the life of me break this egg half open. Usually I think most people just oh, there we go. Cut it with a knife. And it looks like, did I do it right? Oh yeah, the egg actually kind of looks okay. The egg turned out okay. Nice. All right. Let's try some of that noodles. Let's try some of these noodles. The noodles look pretty good. Those are good noodles. Nice, firm, thin. Honestly, the only thing that's missing here is some chashu, and I really don't have any chashu, so a shame for that. But maybe we can try to add something else in here that's not chashu. Let's take out one of the other things that we have here. We do have a couple of squid items that might work here. I'm not going to take the tentacle one out. The tentacle one out is pretty nice. Like, look at this. The tentacle squid is probably pretty nice to play around with. Probably has a nice texture because of all the tentacles. But we're gonna try these two for now. And my only hesitation is that these are not resealable. And usually in Japan they like to like package everything one by one. These are not packaged one by one. So this is gonna be a little bit messy, I feel like. Oh yeah, the juices are still moving in there. This is gonna be a little bit messy for me. And then I have to figure out how to seal this afterwards. Oh yeah, that is a very squiddy taste. Not taste, very squiddy smell to it. Look at that. Perfect squid shape. Hardly see this in nature, maybe. I don't know. Though the squid I caught in the market did have a perfect squid shape too. So maybe it's just a thing. I don't know. It is a little bit cold. It's a little bit greasy. I think this might be better if I heated this a little bit, like heated the whole pack in water to warm this up. But we're just gonna have to deal with it for now. We're gonna have to deal with that for now. Let's give this. Okay, let's give. Oh, my hands are gonna be messy. Let's give this a shot first. Firm, very firm. Not rubbery. That's a good thing. Cheese, creamy cheese. I'm actually surprised about that. Let me see. Let's go over the broth. No, I do not believe squid and ramen go together. At least not this particular ramen. It's not bad, and that cheese is very. It's very creamy. It doesn't seem like it on camera. It doesn't seem like it on camera, but it's actually pretty darn creamy once you bite into it. I don't know if it's any particular cheese. I'm not that well read up on cheese, but this is a pretty good package. Very good package. It's a nice snack. And as the package on this says, it's made of good ingredients. They actually put that on the package. It's made of good ingredients. Oh, by the way, I probably should have shown this to you earlier. On the ramen package, there is this spiel on the side. I don't know if you can really read it over here. I'm gonna finish that squid off first and try to maybe clean my hands in some hot water because holy crap, that thing is sticky. But let me read. What the package here says. If you can't read it on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna be reading it word for word. Basically, it says, "We want to design our way of life in northern land Hokkaido. Seize the wind, and you looking it, you are wood playing for we and would catch the fish in a brook." No wait, looking for we would play in a forest and would catch the fish in a brook. There are wilderness on the earth on this other side. There are wilderness on the earth. There are wilderness on the earth, so we have to keep on protecting. Close your eyes and feel the sound. See, you can hear the voice from nature. I have no idea what the heck any of that means. It is very broken English and basically, yeah, wild ramen, I guess. I don't know. There's a similar one on the polar bear. It's pretty similar, not as wordy, but basically it says, "We want to design our way of life in northern land Hokkaido." So it starts out the same way. "Northern weather will accept the human life we produce. Northern weather will accept the human life we produce." No idea. No idea. Ursus maritimus. I did not realize that's what a polar bear scientific name is. Do they have one for the Ezo brown bear too? Only Hokkaido taste. Apparently you can only get this in Hokkaido. I don't know if that's what it actually means. North Island, Ezo brown bear, wilderness nature, Hokkaido. I don't know what all that means, but hey, it's pretty good. The ramen's good. The squid is pretty good. This ramen's been sitting out for a little while. Let me see if that changes the texture any. Dude, how fast do I have to eat the noodles? Because I know there's some noodles where if you don't eat it quickly, it's gonna be bad. Actually, still pretty good. Still springy. Still firm. Despite sitting out for over 10 minutes. How's the egg that I made? I mean, the egg looks pretty good, but it doesn't taste any good. Not bad. I mean, I made this yesterday. If you let it soak in the broth for a few more days, that thing's gonna really gel. I think it takes like 48 hours for the egg to gel. It hasn't been quite that long. Not even half that long. But yeah, this if you guys like squid or cheese, this might be something you might want to try. I don't know if the texture is to everyone's liking. Definitely heat this thing first, like dunk this in like boiling hot water for about maybe 10 minutes to warm it up, and then you can eat it, and then maybe it'll be extra special. Pretty good though. I'm gonna have to figure out how to close the rest of that, and with that in mind, I'm a little hesitant to open this because now I'm gonna have to seal 2 squid packages. Probably won't open the tentacle one today, but I'm kind of curious about this one. So let's open this. I'm kind of curious why they only gave you one tail end. I'm assuming this is all one squid, so that's probably why you get one tail end. The cheese is kind of all the way in there. Never mind, the cheese was not in there. It was out there. It was like outside, whatever this was. The fin. The fin. Yeah, there's like some cakiness. You kind of see it over here from whatever process they made this squid and cheese. But the squid and cheese itself, I think, what was that? Anyway, I think this is basically the same as this, just cut cross section. So we got a little cross section in the squid. Yeah, I think it's all made the same way. Because it has the same texture, the same flavor, same packaging. So maybe that says it more than anything else. Not bad, not bad. If I were to pair this with anything though, probably rice. Rice would be good. Anything goes with rice. I don't know if I'd put it in the ramen. I could try right now. I don't think it's gonna turn out very good. Then again, they put like butter in Hokkaido ramen. Butter and corn. And I've never understood that. I don't know if anyone else has tried it, but I've never understood it. And I don't know if how common it is, because I didn't see it at all when I was in Sapporo, and supposedly Sapporo is full of that stuff. Maybe I just didn't go to the right places. That could be it. That could be it. Just dunk the squid cheese in there for a little bit. I'm kind of afraid it's gonna like melt into the ramen. So far it hasn't. I mean, that ramen broth is not as hot as it was earlier, so still pretty good though. Still pretty good. Kind of went through the ramen and the squid pretty darn fast, actually. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to do for this stream. I just wanted to try some ramen on stream, see how that was gonna work out. I like the ramen. I wish I could share some of this with you guys, but that's the nature of this kind of thing. You cannot. It's like a mukbang. It's basically a mukbang where you're like watching someone eat ridiculous amounts of food, except I'm not eating a ridiculous amount of food. I'm trying to be responsible here. So you get the slurpy sound instead. I don't know if I have it in me to try another thing of ramen after this. And I was doing my best too, holding back eating before the stream. I did eat before the stream. I didn't eat much before the stream. All I did was like eat like 5 pieces of chicken wings, which sounds like a lot for some people, but that's it. Five pieces of chicken wings, 3 hours before the stream. It's not too bad. I needed my protein. That was my protein for the day. Because all I had before then was some rice with furikake and tofu and seaweed and canned sardines. That was it. I was supposed to cook yesterday. I was supposed to cook an actual meal yesterday, but I did not. So kind of like put myself in a situation where I had to like grab the emergency food and actually eat from there instead. Like for most people, emergency food is gonna be like a can of soup or a package of ramen, and that's what they eat for lunch. Mine are like cans of fish, but specifically the cans of fish you would get at the Asian market. And normally I go for like the Japanese canned mackerel or sardines, or the Korean tuna. The Korean tuna, like soaked in kimchi whatever else that's not just plain oil or DHA. Like, I've seen cans of tuna in the grocery store, like Mediterranean style, not tuna, yeah, Mediterranean style sardines in oil, and I'm like, why is it just in oil? I never understand the appeal of just dunking things in vats of olive oil and letting it sit there. I do not. I do not. I much prefer like tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, something sauce, just not oil. It's a little bit much. Oily fish is pretty rough. I mean, but apparently that's apparently it's a Spanish style. Spanish style is like taking some cooked sardines and preserving that, I assume, in olive oil. I guess it makes sense, but to me it really doesn't, because you have to eat that oil coming back up. Anyway, we still have some ramen, but we also have some desserts that we need to give a shot. Corn apparently is a huge thing in Hokkaido. When I was in Sapporo itself, they had a place in one of the parks where they serve like street food and such like that. Well, I say street food, but it's basically a couple of stalls. One really big stall where they serve a lot of different foods, including ice cream, and one smaller stall where they served basically just grilled corn. And I did not understand this when I was at the park, why there were so many people lined up for the grilled corn but not the ice cream. I went back for the ice cream like a couple of times and never had any issues, but meanwhile the grilled corn stand was like at least 10 people in the line. And I'm not a corn person to begin with, like actual corn on the cob person, but they were there for the grilled corn. I didn't try it. I didn't try. What I did try though was the milk soft serve ice cream, which was really nice, really rich and really creamy, and the roasted corn ice cream. The roasted corn ice cream had like a subtle roasted corn flavor, a little bit on the sweet side, but it wasn't quite as thick, it wasn't quite as rich as the milk one. The milk soft serve ice cream, you can really taste the milk. Like, it's not just ice cream flavor, it's not vanilla, it's not ice cream flavor, it's, you can taste the actual milk through that. And that was very interesting to me. I think that was my favorite ice cream that they had at that particular place. So highly recommend it. If you ever get a chance to try Hokkaido ice cream, try the milk ice cream. It might not be the same one, but you'll probably get an idea on what that's like. Meanwhile, the corn, I like sweet corn, but they don't do sweet corn. They do roasted corn, so it's a little bit different. Okay, here we go. This is kind of what I expected with the squid, but didn't really get. But basically, we're going to be getting something that looks like a Rice Krispie. I'm guessing there's some white chocolate here. I do have a milk chocolate version in the kitchen. I'm not going to open that for stream, but we are going to try this one. Tokibi. Ah, that's what they call corn. Tokibi. Tokibi chocolate. The charm of Snowbell's original chocolate has its uniquely processed corn flavor and exquisite mild sweet wild chocolate collaborate. What? The charm of Snowbell's original chocolate has its uniquely processed corn flavor and exquisite mild sweet white chocolate collaborate. So it's a collaboration of corn and chocolate. I'm not sure why they said it in such a way, but that's what this thing says. In plain English, no less. And supposedly, according to the package, either this was made this month or it expires at the end of this month. So I probably should actually be eating these soon. And it is very hard to open, I do not know why. Okay. One tiny little Rice Krispie. Or should I say Corn Crispy in this package, and my hand that I opened the package with is covered with chocolate, which means this is a soft chocolate. It will melt in your hands, but it basically looks like a Rice Krispie, a very small one. I forgot how much this thing cost, but being a souvenir, I think it was probably a little bit overpriced. But anyway, Corn Crispy. Not bad, actually, not bad. So that thing was actually made of corn, no rice whatsoever. The kernels, the little kernels, these things fell apart pretty easily in very distinct pieces. It's not like they were, it's like, you know, a Rice Krispie is kind of mushed together. It wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. This is more like very distinct pieces. They break up very crispily in your mouth. Lightly coated with chocolate that will melt in your hands. And has a very strong, roasted corn flavor. It's not bad. It's not bad. I prefer sweet corn. But this is not bad, though. Like I said, I don't know how much this thing costs. There's 10 in the package apparently, and probably should be a little bit careful on how quickly I eat this. But also there's the worrying expiration date. I mean, if it expires, you can still probably eat it for a little bit. Apparently they also have a temperature here to like keep it below 28 keep it below 28 Celsius. I don't know why, but they have that. And if you're in Hokkaido, I don't think that's ever going to be a problem, because Hokkaido is up north, and typically you're not gonna, I mean, I guess even in the summer, it's not going to be an issue unless you're in like Tokyo, where you're going to probably hit 30, 35 degrees Celsius pretty easily during the summer. But in Hokkaido, it's probably going to stay a nice brisk, maybe 70-ish, around there in the summer, which is very good. Also dry weather in general, if I remember correctly. The ramen is starting to get a little bit soft, so I probably should finish it off soon. That took almost how long? I think the ramen took almost, maybe more than 20 minutes before it started getting soft, which isn't too bad. Broth is still good. Thinking maybe I should save some of this broth for tomorrow for lunch. But anyway, that's just one of the desserts. I guess I say dessert. I don't think I've seen the corn thing anywhere else in Hokkaido, but tried that. We'll also try this one. This is they call this milk dyes. Basically, it's just milk, dried milk cubes. I don't think I've ever had anything like that before. Um, but my impression of this, just looking at it, just feeling it, it's gonna be probably the same thing as compressed milk powder, which kind of sort of have that in the Philippines. In the Philippines, we have this thing called polvoron, and polvoron is basically a compressed flour, wheat flour, toasted wheat flour, with powdered milk and some other stuff in there. It depends on what else you want to put in, but it's basically powdered milk and toasted wheat flour, and it's really, really good, super good. If you have like a Goldilocks or a Red Ribbon where you're at, grab it from there. You'll get a not so homemade flavor from that, but you'll get an idea of what it tastes like. Highly recommend it. This one. Oh, what? Oh, okay. No. Do not dip in the ramen. Oh, I'm gonna have to like wipe you down. What do I have to wipe you down with? Not much. Not much. Milk and ramen. I know milk ramen exists, but we don't want to do it here today. I wouldn't. Okay. I'm just sniffing the inside of the bag. Look at the bag here. And see how all of that is in there. I think if you get even the slightest bit of moisture, this thing's gonna clump like crazy. It's like a little bit milky, but it's not like overwhelmingly milky in smell. And this is less of a cube and more of like a flat bottom with a mound on top. It does feel light. It feels very light. It feels like it could be styrofoam or something. Like it has that kind of feeling. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like this hard piece of milk powder and such, but that's not what we have. Instead, what we have is something of a mix between milk and a wafer. On top is like a wafer. When you bite into it, it tastes like what you would have, like one of those cream wafers. It has that exact texture, even though it doesn't look like it has any form of wheat anywhere. I don't know. Skimming through the ingredients, I cannot find the ingredients on this darn thing. But it looks like it's just... I can't read it. I cannot read it. I don't know where the ingredients are. Let's see. Genzai ryome. I am gonna guess this. I'm gonna guess this line over here are the ingredients, but I'm not entirely sure. There's denpun. What the heck is denpun? Denpun, kurimu. So there's cream. Whatever denpun is. Kanji I cannot read. I guess there's milk in here too. There's kanji for milk. I can't read it. I cannot read it. But I don't think there's any wheat here. I don't see any kanji for wheat. So there's probably not any wheat in this thing. It's pretty good though. I like the texture. It's not hard. It goes down pretty easily. Yeah, it definitely has a wafer texture. I like that one. A lot. Need some salt. I need some salt.
Ah, I know what's missing. I saw some red flecks, maybe. It might be oil, it might be something else. But this thing needs pepper. Some red pepper to make just to add a little bit of spice to it. It doesn't need it, but for me personally, some sichimi would be great. Some sichimi or some red pepper, white pepper. I wouldn't add any oil to it unless it came from like chashu or something. That's the only thing. Okay, last thing we're gonna try today, because I don't think I'm up for another bowl of ramen. Is this Hokkaido chocolate white and black? I cannot zoom out any further. Basically, white chocolate, dark chocolate with cream in the middle. At least I think that's what it is. At least I think that's what it is. I think it says chocoreto. Chocoreto. What else do we have? I cannot read this kanji. It looks like kenochi? Kenochi? Shokuhin? I do not know what that is. Chocolate Guki. I'm trying to read. I cannot read. I see chocolate, white chocolate, cream, maybe. I don't know. But this is your. I guess this is what your typical souvenir box is gonna be like. But I got this one because it actually did look different from the other souvenir stuff, so maybe it might be okay. It might be good. There's some souvenir stuff where it's like most of the souvenir stuff you see is like some form of manju or some sort of bun, and I feel like those types of souvenirs are the most common, the least interesting, unless they do something with the bun itself or the filling. But this one, we have cow print. Normally the boxes are so plain you wouldn't even know what was in it, but now you see there's a cow print, so it's like it's got to do something with milk maybe. And look at that. We have jars and jars and jars of chocolate milk. We have two different kinds. We have the milk chocolate, which apparently is just half a jar, though if you take two of these, you can make a full jar. Let's try making a full jar. It kind of looks like a full jar. It's not really a full jar, but you have milk chocolate on this side and you have the regular white chocolate on that side. And if we take a look at them, I like the packaging on these ones. Actually, the packaging is pretty neat. Let's actually see what's the inside like. I'm imagining this is going to be just like a solid piece of chocolate with the cream in the middle as shown in the diagram. But other than that, I'm not really sure what we're gonna get. It does have the milk jug aesthetic to it, which is pretty nice. Okay, solid piece of chocolate with a little bit of white chocolate in the middle, and it looks like it is. I thought it would be cream. It's not cream. It's literally just chocolate over chocolate. So you have white chocolate covered with milk chocolate. It's pretty okay. Probably better than most milk chocolates that we have here in the US. It's still got a little bit of a slightly dark chocolate-y flavor, at least from what I can taste. But other than that, solid piece of chocolate, not too bad. Rinse that out and we'll try the other one. So this one is supposedly the milk chocolate. the milk chocolate one. And what we have here is white chocolate on the outside. White chocolate on the outside. Very soft, by the way. And even more, I had to take a closer look at that one. I'm not sure if you can really see it that well on camera because the light is washing any textures out. But it seems to be even texture throughout the entire thing. So I thought this would be like the other one, where the other one was like I guess some sort of dark-ish chocolate on the outside and then milk chocolate on the inside. This one is more like white chocolate throughout. There's nothing else in here. The white chocolate, though, is definitely a lot better than the white chocolate than we have in the US. It doesn't taste too sweet. And it's pretty thick. I wouldn't say creamy, but it's pretty thick. Not too bad. Still on the sweeter side. I like if I didn't get it out. Doesn't want to come out of the package. Okay. I like this one. I like this one where it has a little bit of actually dark chocolate on the outside. I don't think it's dark chocolate, but I don't think it's also like milk chocolate. Also, I think that what they call milk chocolate in Japan is actually what we call white chocolate, because what this one says because this one says milk choco, but this is the white chocolate one, and definitely tasted like white chocolate. But this is the regular choco, and this tastes like it has a little bit of dark choco in there, not a lot, but it has it, and it was pretty good after the salty stuff that we had. The ramen itself, more or less what I remember. Though I think when I cooked this the first time, I also made like a really well prepared chashu to go with this, because I knew this was a very special ramen that I wasn't gonna have very often. So the fact that I didn't have any special chashu made for this one is a little bit of a shame, but I just don't have the ingredients on me. So the most we can do is egg and broth, which is a little sad. Honestly, dress this up a little bit more. Put something in here. Fish cakes, chashu that has been in the oven for at least 4 hours. And you can probably make any ramen, not just this one, much better if you do that. Honestly. Okay. I kind of wish we could try the other ramens though, but my body says you cannot accept any more salt today. Also, probably a bad idea to have more than one bowl of ramen in a day, though I have done more than one ramen in a day and have severely regretted it. And I do not want to do that. I do not want to do that today. But what I will do is finish off this after the stream. Overall, I think I like pretty much everything that we had here. The squid ones are, if you like squid, great. If you don't like squid, might be not so good. I think I like the cheese more here than I did like the squid. The squid was fine, but the cheese and squid combination is probably what sold it to me, not necessarily the squid itself. Though the squid definitely could have used a little bit of warming up. The corn crispy was pretty good, but you don't get a whole lot of this is my only complaint. Then again, this is something you would get from a souvenir store and not a grocery store. So even at the grocery store, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of whatever you buy, just because that's just how Japan works. To be honest, that's just how Japan works. I was kind of surprised though. I bought this jelly thing from the grocery store, brought it back with me here to the States, and you get a pretty decent amount of fruit jellies from the thing. I think like between 15 to 20, I think. And that lasted a while. It was more. I say jelly. It was more like a cognac flavored jellies with. They were flavored with different fruits. Like I think the one I got was apple and grape, which were both pretty good. I like the apple quite a bit more than the grape one, but those are pretty good. And yeah, the chocolate in general was great. This one I think was one of my unexpected favorites with how this thing just kind of collapses on itself. I wasn't expecting it to be so wafery, considering look at the shape of this thing. It looks nothing like a wafer, but it crunches like a wafer. Yet if you try to just crunch it in your hand, it doesn't really break apart that easily. At least until you bite it, and then when you bite it, then it kind of falls apart a little bit. Anyway, just wanted to share some snacks from the trip. I don't think I have any more snacks to show you guys the next time we do a food stream. So I will be working on these. And if I feel like doing ramen again on stream, then we will do it again on stream. I kind of want to try. I have an expectation of the bear ramens because it's like shoyu, miso, and salt. But this one, I am very curious about. We might do a little bit of this on the next food review stream. Though the next food review stream is going to be not Japanese food, because I think I finished off all the Japanese food that I wanted to show you guys. But now I have gotten a fresh batch of MREs and stuff that we will be reviewing. Yes, we're going to be back in our MRE food arc after this one. But we might still do some ramen at parts of the stream because if I haven't got into this yet. I have expectations for this, but the thing is, I've also tried crab ramen before from my last trip, and I didn't think it was that special. It was okay. It would just tasted like seafood, but I didn't taste anything particularly crab, because crab to me isn't really a flavor. Crab to me is more like the flavor and the texture. You're kind of missing the texture in crab. Is it really crab, or is it just any other seafood? At least with shrimp, you can kind of tell it's shrimp, but you still kind of also need the texture to know that it's shrimp. That's how seafood is to me in general. Seafood flavored stuff is most of the time tastes fairly similar to each other. So, but I'm kind of curious what they do with this, with the sea urchin one, because if I haven't had sea urchin that much, but the few times I've had it, it's mainly a texture thing. It's not really any specific flavor. It's a creaminess and a softness. But also a lot of people, there's a few amount of people that don't like sea urchins because it tastes like the bad part of the ocean, supposedly. And I've never had the experience, but then again, I kind of like the seafood market and all the smells associated with the seafood market. So I'm fairly used to that. For someone who isn't, it might affect them a little bit more. Who knows? We'll see. Ramen, but you put tarantula in it. How about we do not put a tarantula in the good ramen? We can put a tarantula in the regular ramen, but not in the good ramen. That is a no. That is an absolute no. And if I put tarantula in ramen, it's gonna be one of those Chinese ramens where it's so spiced up and heavy with sauce that it's gonna coat the tarantula and actually give it flavor. Because last time I researched the dried tarantula stuff, they said it was not good. It's not a flavor thing, it's a texture thing because the tarantula is dry and it's hairy and it didn't burn the hair off. So what else do you have? The carapace. Now, if we had a big enough tarantula where we can actually eat the meat and stuff, that's one thing, but we don't have dungeon meshy levels of spiders and scorpions. Though you can get tarantulas big enough to there's actually meat in there, but that's hardly a thing. And we have tried crickets and mealworms and stuff on this stream, and I kind of got used to the crickets. Still not a fan of them, but they're probably better than the mealworms and anything else that was in there. It'll be a real good spider though. I mean, tarantulas are the only edible spiders as far as I am aware of. But even then, there's not a big enough tarantula preserved to eat. I feel like it has to be fresh. But tarantulas, as big as they are, they don't get very big. I feel like crawfish would be better at that point. And I guess crawfish at one point was also treated like trash food, right? Can you imagine? Tarantulas might be the next thing because crawfish used to be trash food as well as lobster used to be trash food. But now they're like this luxurious thing, especially lobster. Because, I mean, the meat on the tail is just that good, right? But I guess back in the day, they didn't really think about it. Crawfish, I have to admit, though, it's crawfish is more like a giant bug. But you are able to collect a bunch of crawfish and boil them and like eat the tails. There's not much meat anywhere else. At least with the lobster, depending on the lobster you have, you also have claw meat. But most lobsters that do not have a claw, you will always have the tail. And the tail meat on a lobster is pretty substantial. Pretty darn substantial. But the difference between the difference in size of the meat between a crawfish and a tarantula is pretty big. I mean, where would the meat on a tarantula even be? If we're looking at what do you call this? Phenotypic trees and no, if we're looking at the relationship between one animal and another, a tarantula is closest to a crab. So where is most of the meat on the crab? Depending on the crab, most of the meat is either going to be in the legs in the case of a king crab, or the claws in the case of a snow crab, not a stone crab, or everywhere else in the body as a case of some other crabs, or in some other crabs, most of the meat is going to be in the body itself. Now, if you look at a tarantula, the legs do not seem like they carry a whole lot of meat. They carry a lot of power. But there doesn't seem to be much meat there. So where's the meat? If I remember my pictures correctly, most of the meat is going to be in the body itself, but it's not a whole lot. I'm going to have to research that again, but it's not a whole lot. So, yeah. I mean, if someone gives me tarantula, I can't refuse it. But if I were to get tarantula myself, I'm gonna have to make sure I get like the biggest tarantula available so that we can get a decent amount of meat in there. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's never gonna take off as as an alternative food. I guess people have been eating locusts and crickets for the longest time, but it just hasn't caught on really outside of the desert areas of the world. Though I guess we're turning it into alternative food in the US because why not, right? Anyway, I don't know. But we don't put that stuff in the good ramen. That's my point. You do not put that stuff in the good ramen. The good ramen will get good meat, and the regular ramen or heavily sauced ramen will get all the experimental stuff. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for hanging out. Um, I hope that didn't feel too rushed. I feel like we rushed it a little bit, but you know, food stuff and just yabbing about food. I don't think that really. I don't think that's like a long stream to begin with. But I hope you guys saw some things here that you might have um, wanted to try, and I hope that you all might want to be able to find it sometime in the future because I think they're good. They're good. I don't know where you'll be able to find them though, especially this one. I don't know where you would find this anywhere except for Hokkaido itself. But if you ever find yourself in Japan, look for this. Um, but this one, if you ever find yourself in yami.com, then you'll find this pretty easily because that's where I got this one. You can find a lot of stuff in Yami, by the way. Not sponsored, but that's where I get most of my Asian stuff because the Asian stuff around where I live is ridiculously expensive. Like double the price what they should be. So I get my Asian groceries online, and that's one of the places where I can get them reasonably, and I can also get stuff directly from Japan. Not everything, but you can get some stuff directly from Japan, and some souvenir stuff also they have for sale on there, so that's kind of nice. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you guys for coming again, and I'll see you next time. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream on Sunday, but if I do stream on Sunday, we're probably gonna be back to our Japanese learning streams. Otherwise, I will see you again on Monday with more Bakery Girl. Okay, ending now. Thank you again. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.